Revelation 13 and verse 8 is a source of confusion for many people because it talks about Jesus being a lamb slain from the foundation of the world. But how is it possible that Jesus was crucified right back at the beginning of creation, roughly 4,000 years before? Well, as we'll come to see, this phrase is actually true in a number of different ways. First, in a typical sense, the events of the Garden of Eden point forward to the work of Jesus Christ. Way back in the early chapters of Genesis, following their sin, Adam and Eve put together clothing made of fig leaves in order to cover their nakedness. However, this covering was not sufficient, and so God clothes Adam and Eve with animal skins. The slain lamb in the Garden of Eden, which provided these skins, points forward to the work of Jesus, whose sacrifice would cover the sins of mankind. In another sense, Jesus was slain from the foundation of the world because right at the very beginning, it was in God's plan that Jesus should die. In other words, it wasn't that Jesus pre-existed, just that his role was predetermined. Romans 4 and verse 17 supports this idea when it says that God calls those things which are not as though they were. Put another way, God's plans are so sure that he can talk about things yet to come as though they've happened already. This becomes even more clear when we understand that this idea about something being established from the very foundation of the world is actually used of you and me. Ephesians 1 verses 4 and 5 tells us that God chose us from the foundation of the world. He predestined us for adoption to himself as sons through Jesus Christ. In other words, God is so all-knowing that from the very beginning of time, he knew who would come to accept his word and who would be adopted into his family. And finally, Jesus was slain from the foundation of the world because the power of his sacrifice extended to all, right from the very beginning, even up until now. Jesus offered one sacrifice, even his own life, that all might have hope. And it's this wonderful hope that will continue to develop as we study God's word, the Bible.